Hi, this is Jen Braverman with Transworld, and you are watching Inside the Haunt Industry.
As we traveled home from our Indiana trip, my crew and I were filled with the excitement all the possibilities the road to Transworld might have. But just when we thought our road to Transworld couldn't get any better, we received a phone call from Jen Braverman herself, inviting us to where few have ever been, Transworld headquarters.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Haunt Industry. Tonight we're at Transworld's headquarters, and I'm sitting down with Jen Braverman and Anne-Marie Gavinski. So let's get this party started.
Woo! Woo! Yeah!
I'd like to get in and ask you guys some questions if that's all right. We'll start with Anne-Marie. At Transworld, you run the seminar series. Is that correct?
Well, there's a team of us that contribute to the seminar series. It really starts with Jen participates, Ben Armstrong, my husband, and I all meet to talk about the seminar series and decide who's going to come and speak.
Cool. And when do you guys start that process?
You'd be amazed. We actually started when Transworld ended last year in 2014. It ended on a Sunday. That Friday, we met here at this office in Illinois, and we all got together and we started going over the speaker series from 2014, what we liked, what we didn't like. We went through all the evaluations. We have a spot where attendees can tell us what other topics they'd like to see. So we reviewed that, and then we started doing kind of a loose outline of here are the speakers we'd like to come back, and also here are the topics that we want to present in 2015.
Cool, cool. Now, how did you get started doing that? To being the person that gets involved with the seminar series and does all that? How did that begin?
Wow, that was a long time ago. I think that we were just speaking frequently at Transworld, and then one year at the last minute, somebody was unable to present their seminar, and Jen came to us and asked if we could present, and it was probably about 30 minutes before the presentation was going to start, and we were able to jump in and present that seminar, and it went really well. And I think we just have continued. We had a good relationship at that point, and they needed more help. The seminar series is, there's a lot of work, a lot goes on behind the scenes in order to, you're talking about at Transworld, we usually have more than 60 speakers that are presenting. That's a lot of people trying to bring them together and get their seminar descriptions, their speaker agreements, get their presentations, their handouts, all of that together. So it takes a team.
Wow. Speaking of team, you lead up the team. You are the one in charge of everything. How do you do it?
I think it's really surrounding myself with great people, and I think really that's the key to everything. That is a question that's asked on a routine basis, and I think having Tim and Anne-Marie make things smooth on site, and it's funny because it actually, listening to you hear Anne-Marie ask that question, Tim basically came up to me one day and said, I can help you make all of this run smoother. And I think that really helped. We do, as Anne-Marie was saying, we do have a ton of speakers and stuff like that. That really is what makes the show so good, and I think that's what's really contributed to the success of the show. Really, yeah, and a lot of hard work and sleepless nights.
Yes. Speaking of the success, you guys are constantly evolving and bringing in new stuff. For example, you've got the Thursday night party, the bowling party, the VIP pass is another new thing. Why did you guys bring more? Why not just stick with what you know works?
It's a good question. I feel that every year we need to make the show bigger and better, and I think we need to change things around. I think it's important to have different parties, different experiences, see different haunted houses, and just, it's a lot for a buyer to come to a show. Nowadays you can go online, you can purchase product. I really feel like when someone comes to see the show, it's all about the experience. It's the trade show floor, it's the seminars, it's the parties. So we always try to sit down and figure out how we can make that better every year.
Just like an attraction.
Exactly, exactly.
This question's for Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, you've been a long-time successful haunted house owner and a long-time attendee of Transworld. What is the one thing that you think everybody should see when attending Transworld?
Wow. I think everyone needs to attend Transworld. That's probably the one thing everyone has to do. They need to go to that show. And then it really is all about the entire experience. You have to kind of shape what you want to do based on what's important to you that year. I think that's why there's so many different things to do, and it changes year after year. So it can be one thing that you're focused on this year, but then next year maybe you have time to do a couple of the other things. So it's important to go to as many seminars as you can, and then they're going to be offered on all different topics, so you can pick which track is best to meet your needs. It's important to network. Networking is going to be done a lot at those social activities that are offered, and I think that there's so much to do. Planning it ahead is probably the best way to organize yourself so that you know what you're doing before you get there. That's what I would have to do. I can't just go there and wing it. I'd have to have a plan of how I'm going to attack the show, because if you go there and wing it, there's so much to do. You're so overwhelmed. You can almost be just starstruck, and you might not get from point A to point B.
Is there any way that somebody can learn how to plan for that? I believe there's a newcomers breakfast. Does that entail some stuff like that?
Yeah, that's a great segue to the newcomers, absolutely, because we do talk about the buyer's board is at the newcomers breakfast, and for $20 you get breakfast. It's free breakfast. So come on and join us. We'll talk about, we have a great Q&A format there, so you get to talk to people that have been in the industry for a number of years about how they got started. You can ask anything you want in that Q&A format, as well as we'll give you our tips and trade show secrets of how we attack the floor, what events we think you really must go to and do and why.
And it all starts with new shoes.
And yeah, it starts with wearing a good, comfortable pair of shoes and a bottle of water,
yes.
And then typically something with like a notepad and a pen.
Now I have a question for Jen.
Sure.
Jen, with all of the stuff that you got going on at Transworld, MHC, all the other events that you guys put on, what is your proudest accomplishment with Transworld this year?
I think the proudest accomplishment for this year is bringing in such a diverse group of buyers. You know, we have a lot of people coming from the theme parks, the agri-entertainment, which will be the corn mazes, the pumpkin patches, the paintball fields. We really have a lot of people coming from overseas, and I think it's really us getting out there and really promoting. Rich and I have gone to a bunch of different trade shows in a bunch of different industries, done a lot of promotion overseas, and I'm really seeing the fruits of the labor as we're seeing the people signing up for the show.
And I think I heard it from you that there isn't going to be an interactive haunt this year?
Yeah, we are putting a haunted house on the show floor, but it won't be an interactive one. Larry Kirshner has designed something that's going to be pretty wonderful, so it's going to be kind of at the entrance of the show when you walk in. So I think that's great to walk into a haunted-themed trade show and have a haunted house right there.
So from a buyer's perspective, considering you have Wisconsin, you own Wisconsin Fairgrounds, what is your main drive to go to Transworld?
Well, I think that if you have any kind of a business affiliated with Halloween, and that could be an attraction, a corn maze, it could be zombie paintball, any of those kinds of things, as well as even the retail stores. You need to go to Transworld because that's where all of these vendors are going to be, that you're going to be able to see all the new stuff. You're going to be able to make your connections, put your orders in, and that's where it all happens. It happens at Transworld. It is the largest Halloween attractions show. So it's a must if you have anything to do with that part of the industry, including, because I didn't really talk about the home haunters, and Tim and I started as home haunters, and our first trade show was still Transworld. And even as home haunters, we found plenty of things that we were interested in on the trade show floor, because there are things for every buyer. I think there's really expensive things if you're doing it commercially like Tim and I do now, or even there's smaller things that you can get for the home haunter that will still interest you and then make your place that much more exciting.
Is this the show for everybody?
You know, I think, Tim, I heard it in an interview. Anne-Marie's husband said it best when If you're looking to actually buy product on the show floor, then Transworld's for you. But the vendors come to the show and they really make the majority of their money all within this show, you know, this period of time. And I think that if you're a home haunter and you're planning on coming to the show, but you're not really planning on coming and buying, and you're not planning on attending the seminars, then Midwest Haunters or Halloween Extreme would definitely be a better show for you. I think if your intention is to take the seminars and learn and look around the show floor and really try to get to the next level of purchasing, and you're really taking this seriously, then Transworld definitely is for you. And obviously, if you own an attraction or you're working with a theme park or a pumpkin patch or a corn maze or whatever that would be, then Transworld's the show for you.
The pre-show bus tour to Talon Falls. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Well, you know, it's a lot of the people that have events themselves aren't able to get away to see other shows. It is the middle of March. We have this fantastic opportunity to get on a bus with other people that share our passion and our enthusiasm. We're going to feed you on the bus, so you'll have a box lunch. And actually, the first 150 people that sign up for the pre-show tour, you are going to get a bag of goodies, and there's going to be some pretty cool stuff in there. Also, each bus is giving away a raffle prize. At least, actually, there's a few prizes, but there's at least one really big prize on each bus. So that's another bonus. Then you actually get to Talon Falls and to see that event, and it's going to be running like the show runs in October, and it's the middle of March. It's fabulous. That's awesome. It's a great way to start the trade show.
And I think it's a good education, too. I think it's, you know, instead of just sitting in the classroom, it gives people ideas that will start to stimulate, you know, the thoughts in their head of what they could do with their own attraction as well.
More hands-on, more visual.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me in 30 seconds or less why someone should attend Transworld?
Because you can't get it anywhere else. There's no other show, there's no looking through pages on an internet, looking at catalogs that will give you the experience that you will get the first day you get.
Do you love Halloween?
Yeah, I love Halloween, but
Have you ever been in a haunted house?
I get scared, no.
Then how do you know?
Because it's like the whole thing, even when I'm in the parking lot and the monsters are coming out, I can't handle it. It freaks me out.
So do you have any problems going on the show floor when there's monsters
No,
out
but
there?
you want to know that something that's funny is when I walk through the interactive haunted house and the show floor and it's in its building process, I'm so comfortable walking on and seeing all of it. But as soon as it's like done, completed, the doors are shut, the walls are finished, it's like an anxiety attack when I walk through it.
So the monsters walking around?
No, I'm okay with that because I know all the companies that produce it, so it feels safe and it's in an environment I'm comfortable with. But when it's in a haunted house, it's just a whole different feeling.
And somebody's doing something right.
Exactly.
Well, I want to thank you ladies for taking the time to come on our show. We look forward to seeing you guys in Transworld and hope that we can do this again sometime before Halloween Extreme.
Definitely.
So
thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Inside the Haunters. That's why I fear that other people will be editing.
No, Dylan's editing this one.
But it'll be on the outtake.
Yeah, David
Dan.
Oh my god.
You couldn't have rehearsed that anymore.
Nope, you couldn't.
A little bit more. You don't want it buttoned, but you don't want it like,
You want to look like
hey.
well-groomed.
Well-groomed.
There, that's better.
Where is your... No.
Sorry.
Okay.
Don't put your hand up. You look like you got a pistol in your hand. You can use your own words. That's the...
No, I'm good. All right, we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. He smells like an air freshener.
You know what it is? It's your soap in your men's bathroom. Smell like strawberry shortcake. This is horrible.
You don't have to stick your gut out like that.
He's opening his pants.
You're not...
A little different than all the other ones.
Like that?
Well, I do have Roscoe the rat here.
Okay.
Really
No. I'm not talking about a rat. I mean, he doesn't want a rat. I'm saying he could be in between. Emery, you got to move a little closer. Don't worry, Timmer's not going to kill him.
She's trying not to roll on.
That's a good one.
Jen, look at the same camera I look
Okay.
at first, okay?
I'm here. I'm with
Ready?
you. Yeah.
Dan, You
Yes.
look like a stuffed sausage. You're just like, I don't know what to do.
Dan, you're Transworld.
Inside the Haunted Industry would like to sincerely thank Jen and Anne-Marie for sitting down with us at the Transworld headquarters. Thank you for an inside look at the trade show we all know and love. And as always, this is Dan wishing you the craziest of nightmares.